Hi, we're back, and it's Nania,
And it's Tahira.
and welcome to Girls Can
Girls will
and Girls Did. So, Tahira, what in the world are we doing today?
Well, today we're going to talk about fishing. I think it's a necessary skill or thing that anyone can learn, that can be used anytime you feel like, hey, I just want to go out and get my own fresh fish, or just for fun, just to get out and get some fresh air. So today we want to show you that these two girls right here can fish.
Fishing.
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 Yes, fishing.
I gotta get my fish from the grocery store. But we're gonna roll with it, because again, we never know. You never know when this skill can come in handy.
Correct.
So today we're going to actually fish with you all today, right here, right now.
Right. So we're learning some of these things along the way too. So if we look like, amateurs, it's because
We are.
amateurs. And we're not going to front about that. So the first thing we're going to do, we want to go over like some basic regulations here for the state of Georgia. So if you're looking from another state, another county, please check your state and county for your local regulations for fishing. So we're going to go over that. Then we're going to talk about, the license that you have to fish. And then we're going to go into like trying to prep our rod for fishing, hooking our actual hook, and then move on from there. Yeah, yes. We have live worms, so someone's gonna bake their own line.
You. All right, let's go.
Okay, so I do have cue cards because I did not want to stumble over regulations or anything like that. So please, disregard the little cue cards. So first thing, there is no closed season for fishing in Georgia, so you can fish year round. But there may be certain lakes and waters or streams that have other, exceptions to the rule where they may be closed down certain times of the year. But in general, overall, Georgia does not have like you can't fish from this month to this month. There's no such thing here in Georgia. Okay.
Good to know.
The other thing is that you can only, when you fish in any fishing session, you can only take a certain amount of each species out at one time. So like you can only take out like 10 bass or like 8 trout at one time here in Georgia. And also you can only take out like 50 of all the fish that you're fishing at that time. So like if you get like 20 bass, well, you can't get 20 bass, but I don't know, 10 bass, 10 of this, 10 whatever, that you can only walk away with 50 fish.
Now hold up, because my uncle told me that he used to go to the pond all the time, and one day he caught 75 fish.
I think
So
he was telling a fib.
So he broke the law.
He broke the
He
law,
broke the
or he
law.
was telling a fib is what he was doing. He was definitely one of the two. I don't know which one it was. But so here in Georgia, you must make sure that you follow these regulations so that you won't have like a park ranger coming to look for you. And be mindful that we're talking about, fishing at a public park, so these are regulations for that, and these are also regulations for individuals, not necessarily for commercial fishing. So
Okay.
what else I got? Oh, so there's some other exceptions to be noted. There may be some exceptions about the size of fish that you can take out. So like in Georgia, typically the general rule is 12 inches is the minimum size of the fish that you can take out of the water and take home with you. But again, there are some exceptions for the species type. So bass may require, a 14-inch minimum. I don't know. So look in the regulations and it'll kind of go into detail about each species and what the limit length is for that species. It can also say that in this body of water there's a different exception. So that is why we will post down below, the actual Georgia regulations for fishing that will get into the specifics so that you're not caught, doing something against the regulations. What else I got for you? Okay, so the other part, we did talk about if you are fishing, to make sure that you are fishing on land that you can fish on. So, you know, typically with, you know, there may be private lakes or people may have ponds at their home. You cannot just go and fish at any body of water. So currently right now we're at Sweetwater Creek Park, and we can fish here because it's open to the public. So make sure that, you know where you are, whether it's private or public. The other part of this too is that some of these rules don't apply to like a private pond. Like you don't have a fishing license if you're at a private pond, but if you're at a public space, you have to have a fishing license. Okay. And then the last thing that I will mention is that you want to make sure that when you done fishing, that you clean up all your gear. So any fish lines, any hooks, any leftover pole, any broken anything, make sure you take all of your trash or garbage with you, because we want to keep the environment clean. So, and remember that these are all regulations dealing with individuals, not commercial, dealing with freshwater fishing, not saltwater fishing. Saltwater got its own regulations, but again, we will put the link down below that you can go and see the regulations for Georgia. If you're in another state, please go to your local state regulations.
All right, so again, one thing Tahira mentioned was a license.
Yes.
And I'm sure that my uncle and his friends didn't have licenses. But we want to make sure that we are always on the up and up.
Correct.
And always doing things the correct way. So we did go and purchase our fishing license. You can get it from any sports goods store, or sometimes the park may have, if they allow fishing, they may have a place where you can actually get a license. Now the license for Georgia, the cost is $15, and there is a $5 fee as well for the same day fishing, as well as if you purchase it from a sporting goods store, they may charge you a convenience fee. Like today, my total license cost me $18. It's a $3 convenience fee for me to get that license. So again, making sure that we're on the up and up, we're following the rules, we're not breaking any laws, we got our fishing license in tow, just in case we're asked.
And the $15 is for residents, right?
Yes, $15 for residents. For non-residents, I think it is $30.
For 1 day.
For 1 day.
So what is it like if you want to do your annual fee?
The annual fee for a non-resident will be $50. $50. But it's annual.
Right.
So you get to have that license for the whole year. And plus that gives back. It gives back to parks and recreations for towards people's salaries, as far as who keeps the parks clean and all that good stuff. So, it's a good thing to always run up and up and pay the licensing fees. All right. Last but not least, looking at my nifty cars that Tahira made for me. There are discounts for military, for elderly. You do get a discount for your fishing license as well. So we're going to stop right here. We're going to take a break. We're going to get those fishing lines and reels ready, and we'll get back to you.
That's right.
All right.
See you in a minute. Hey, I'm back. Okay, so Nania went and bought us some fishing poles, and I'm going to attempt to assemble this fishing pole, and I'm trying to recollect from my mind when I went fishing maybe twice with my father and maybe once with my grandfather. I'm not sure. So this is me trying to do this off of like a 20-year memory. Okay, so just be patient. All right, so we bought, the fishing rod all in one. It has the reel and the pole, and typically the fishing pole itself comes in 2 parts. So you have to first make sure that you assemble the pole in place, and also make sure that the little rings are aligned, because this is what we're going to take the actual fishing line and pull through as we assemble it. So I just want to make sure it's tight, and it's tight. All right, so then I want to make sure I get the fishing line through the rings, and I've got to release this fishing line. Did I get it? Ah. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little bit. But then what we're going to end up doing here is pulling the fishing line through the hole. So it's like putting thread through a needle hole. So okay, so now we have the fishing pole assembled to the best of our ability, which is it came in 2 parts, the pole, we put it together, and then we basically string the line through the rings all the way up. We attached our hook, and now we are ready to go. We use this little lever right here to basically hold our fishing line in place. So when we get ready to cast, we'll hold our hand like this, and then we will drop the hook and this into the lake. Hopefully not the whole pole into the lake, but just the actual hook. And so the line will reel itself out. And then make sure that most times your handle right here will come kind of inverted in, but you need to make sure that you release it so that it won't catch your reel. So on the opposite side, you have here where you can loosen this lefty-loosey, and you can actually pop out your handle and then tighten it back. So this is what it looks like assembled. So we're actually going to attempt to fish. We're going to try to put these worms on these hooks. That's it. We're going to attempt. I wanted that dramatic pause so you understand how we're going to have to get over these little squirmy worms, but we're going to do it. And because girls can.
Girls will.
And
Girls did.
Ladies and gentlemen, special news, special note, special whatever you want to call it, news breaking. Because I learned this the hard way. If you do not have your fish line coming from the inside to the outside of this little wheel here, you cannot release or loosen your fish line. See right here? If you do not have your fish line right here, you can't use your reel to go out or in at all, okay? Or you just be throwing your line there and it just look like I don't know, some loose shoestring. So please remember to wrap your fish line around this little wheel here.
All right, it's time for the worms. So we got our worms from a local bait shop. They also sell bait, live bait, at the park as well. All right, this cost us about $5, so it wasn't that expensive at all. But you do have live worms, and they're in dirt. I do have on my PPE because I am not a worm girl. Okay, so my personal protection equipment, I am sporting that today. So we're going to take one of these worms out. Great. And look how long it is. My God. And put the top back on because I don't want any of my other bait to get out because, again, they are live. And I'm going to sit that here, and I'm going to attempt to attach this worm to the hook. So.
May I add that your gloves match your shirt?
Thank you. All right, so here we go. We're going to try to get in the middle. And that did it. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay, he didn't like that, so we're going to try it again. Oh, my hands, my PPE is probably in the way. But again, I'm trying to stick him through the...
Well, we'll get a shot as soon as you get him on.
He got a little ferocious on me.
I'm just amazed that you are taking this.
Okay,
like
so
champ.
he is on. He is on.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. All right, so now that our bait is on the hook, it's time for us to catch some fish.
See you in a minute.
All right, here we go. I'm going to attempt to cast my reel. All right, 1, 2, All right, it's in the water. So now I guess I'm gonna start wiggling it around, and we're gonna see if I catch any fish.
Or maybe tighten up your line a little bit. Use your
Line
thing.
is not tightening. I'm just a rolling. Line is not tightening. So we're gonna see how this goes, and we'll give you that. Hopefully with some fish.
Yay! Ooh, all right. You see him? See our little friend? And try to get him on. He's swinging. He don't want to go. He gonna get the flailing. I know. I'm sorry. Probably don't help I have these grip gloves on, but I don't want to touch him. All right. All right.
One more time.
All right. He on and he is on, honey. Feel like I'm just going dropping down in here. What's that noise?
That was pure exasperation. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, girls can and will, but
And attempted. We were not successful at catching any fish,
No.
but we did learn.
yes,
We did learn.
We did
We
learn.
learned that, hey, depending on the size of your fish,
Mm-hmm.
determines the size of your hook.
Yes.
2, how to properly put together your fishing rod and string that line and cast. We found that casting from the side worked a little bit better than casting
Yes.
this way.
Over top.
So, yeah, it was an adventure though. It was an
Yes.
adventure. We had fun. We
Mhm.
learned something new. And if push comes to shove,
We just go to the store and buy some fish. I think that's what's going to happen is we're going to end up going to the store and buying some fish already filleted so I can just fry it. That's what's going to happen.
but for real, again, we're just trying to impart you with knowledge.
Yes.
Like I said, just in case you never know.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
You never
so,
know.
girls can
Girls will
and girls did. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I am about to attempt to throw, not my pole, but the fishing line and the hook into the water. Let's see what happens. Ready?
what happened?
Did it go far?
No, it went back here.
Girl, it's right here. And the worm